Do you ever wake up feeling tired, even after sleeping? Do you drag yourself through the day waiting for energy to magically show up? What if the reason you feel exhausted has nothing to do with your body and everything to do with your patterns? Today, I'm going to show you how to flip the switch inside you. The switch that controls your energy, your power, and your ability to show up as your best self. This isn't about coffee, vitamins, or shortcuts. This is about transforming the way your body and mind create energy every single day. Let's ignite that shift right now. Step 1. Your energy is a daily choice, not an accident. Most people move through life believing their energy is controlled by circumstances, by how much they slept, by how much work they have, or by the kind of day they're having. They wake up tired, and they assume that's just the way things are. They hit midday exhaustion, and they think it's normal. They drag themselves to the evening, blaming stress, time, or age for their low energy. But the truth is far more empowering. Your energy is not an accident. It's not something that just happens to you. It's not a random event. Your energy is shaped by your decisions, your patterns, your habits, and the standards you set for yourself every single day. The moment you take responsibility for your energy, you reclaim the ability to shift it, elevate it, and create more of it on demand. And that shift starts with understanding that your energy is not a feeling. It is a choice you make repeatedly through your actions and your mindset. Think about the times in your life when you felt unstoppable, not because you slept more or had fewer problems, but because you were excited, committed, or emotionally charged. Energy rises when there is purpose, passion, or clarity. This proves that energy is not only physical, it's emotional and psychological. When you decide to step into a higher level of engagement with your life, your body follows. When you choose to take control of your morning instead of reacting to it, you instantly change your energy. When you choose thoughts of possibility instead of limitation, you shift your internal state. You may not control every event, but you always control how you show up to it. You always control your interpretation, your focus, and the meaning you attach to what happens. These choices become the foundation of your energy. There are people who wake up tired, but the moment something meaningful happens, a goal, a challenge, an opportunity, their energy skyrockets. That's not magic. That's intentional emotional engagement. That's the power of choosing a mindset that fuels you instead of drains you. Your identity also shapes your energy. When you identify as someone who is always tired, your body matches that identity. When you identify as someone who is strong, focused, and energetic, your physiology shifts to support that belief. Your posture changes. Your breathing deepens. Your thoughts sharpen. Human beings act consistently with who they believe they are, so the identity you choose becomes the energy you live with. Changing your energy starts with upgrading your standards for yourself, the standard for how you think, how you eat, how you move, how you speak to yourself, and how you respond to challenges. Every choice you make throughout the day either adds to your energy or takes from it. What you consume, who you talk to, how you move, and what you focus on are all micro decisions that build your energy or drain it. When you choose to hydrate, move, breathe deeply, and focus on what empowers you, your energy strengthens. When you choose negativity, stagnation, and chaotic thinking, your energy collapses. Repetition becomes routine, and routine becomes identity. So each day you are training your nervous system to operate at a certain level. If you want higher energy, you must choose the habits and thoughts that generate that energy consistently. Your body will reflect the standards you commit to, and the energy you experience will mirror the choices you make throughout the day. Step 2, break the cycle of mental exhaustion. Mental exhaustion doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly, silently, and consistently as you deal with responsibilities, expectations, worries, and endless decisions. Most people think they are physically tired, but the truth is their body could keep going. It's their mind that's carrying too much weight. Mental exhaustion is the fatigue that comes from thinking nonstop, from replaying conversations in your head, from trying to predict the future, from solving problems that don't even exist yet, and from carrying emotional loads that were never meant to be carried alone. This kind of exhaustion drains more energy than any physical task ever could because the mind consumes enormous amounts of power when it is in a constant state of stress, anticipation, or overthinking. The cycle becomes so normal that people stop noticing it, but their energy, motivation, patience, and clarity slowly fade away. Breaking the cycle begins with awareness. You cannot change what you do not understand, and most people live in mental autopilot. Their minds run without interruption, bouncing from one worry to another, reacting to everything around them, and absorbing sensory overload from social media, conversations, news, and notifications. This constant input forces the brain into survival mode, creating a loop of tension that keeps you stuck in mental fatigue. To break the cycle, you must interrupt the pattern. You must step out of your head long enough to regain control over your focus. Something as simple as deep breathing, standing up, stretching, or shifting your environment can snap the mind out of its exhausting loop. When you change your physical state, your mental state follows. Movement breaks the mental momentum of stress, and it signals the brain to reset. Most mental exhaustion is not caused by events, but by the meaning you attach to them. Two people can experience the same situation, yet one feels empowered and the other feels drained. This difference comes from perception. When you constantly interpret challenges as threats, failures as personal flaws, or obstacles as proof that you're not enough, your mind enters a cycle of emotional fatigue. But when you shift your perspective and choose to see challenges as feedback, obstacles as training, and difficulties as temporary, your mental load becomes lighter. You begin to reclaim power over your mind instead of letting your mind dictate your energy. Breaking the cycle means choosing thoughts that support you, not thoughts that suffocate you. Another source of mental exhaustion is the belief that you need to control everything. Trying to manage outcomes, fix every problem, and satisfy every person drains you from the inside out. The mind becomes overwhelmed by responsibility it cannot realistically fulfill. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means giving your mind permission to rest from what it cannot control. When you release the need to solve everything at once, you create space for clarity, creativity, and calm. You begin to think more effectively, make better decisions, and conserve energy for what truly matters. Releasing unnecessary mental pressure is one of the most powerful ways to restore your inner strength. Breaking the cycle of mental exhaustion also requires protecting your attention. Your focus is your mental currency, and everything you give it to either drains you or strengthens you. Endless scrolling, negative conversations, chaotic environments, and multitasking all consume energy without giving anything back. When you take back control of your focus, even for a few minutes, you interrupt the exhaustion cycle. You remind your mind that you are the one in charge, not the noise around you. Every time you shift your attention towards something intentional, positive, or empowering, you reclaim a piece of your energy and begin restoring the mental power that has been slowly slipping away. Step 3, upgrade your physiology to upgrade your energy. Your body is the gateway to your energy. Most people try to think their way into feeling better, hoping that if they just rest, calm down, or wait it out, their energy will magically return. But energy doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to action, movement, breath, and biochemical shifts. Physiology is the fastest way to change your emotional and mental state because your body and mind are deeply interconnected. When you feel tired, sluggish, unmotivated, or mentally foggy, your body is often stuck in patterns that reinforce low energy. Everything from your posture, your hydration, your breathing, and your movement sends signals to your brain about how much energy to generate. If your physiology is weak, your energy will be weak. If your physiology is powerful, your energy rises to match it. Most people underestimate how quickly physiology can transform their state. Think of how you feel when you sit slouched, head down, barely breathing, staring at a screen for hours. Your mind becomes dull because your body is signaling shutdown. But the moment you stand tall, expand your chest, take deep, intentional breaths, and move your body, you instantly send a different message to your brain. In seconds, your energy elevates because you've activated systems responsible for alertness, clarity, and vitality. This is why athletes warm up before performing. They don't wait to feel ready, they create readiness through motion. The same principle applies to your daily life. You can wake up tired, but if you shift your physiology, your energy shifts with it. Breathing is one of the most powerful physiological tools you have, yet it is the one people ignore the most. Shallow breathing tells your nervous system that you're stressed or overwhelmed, which drains your energy. Deep, controlled, rhythmic breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which restores balance and increases mental clarity. Just 60 seconds of powerful breathing can break fatigue, reduce stress, and recenter your focus. Movement is another instant energy generator. You do not need a full workout to change your state. Even 30 seconds of intense movement can wake up your entire system. Jumping jacks, fast-paced walking, shaking out your body, or stretching with intention signals your brain to release chemicals that boost mood, energy, and alertness. Hydration plays a larger role in energy than most people realize. Even slight dehydration slows your thinking, reduces your motivation, and triggers feelings of fatigue long before you actually feel thirsty. Water fuels your cells, supports your muscles, and helps your brain function at its highest level. When your body is dehydrated, it is physically impossible to operate with high energy. Fueling your physiology through water and nutrient-rich foods ensures your body has what it needs to produce sustained energy instead of short bursts followed by crashes. Posture is another silent factor shaping your energy. When your shoulders are slumped and your spine collapses, your body compresses your lungs, restricts oxygen flow, and signals defeat. Simply standing or sitting upright, expanding your chest, and aligning your spine can elevate energy instantly. Your physiology communicates confidence or fatigue before you even speak or think, which is why adjusting it is a direct path to shifting your internal state. Upgrading your physiology is about making small, intentional shifts throughout the day. Moving every hour, breathing deeply, drinking enough water, stretching your body, carrying yourself with strength, and choosing powerful physical patterns creates a foundation for powerful energy. Your body is the engine that drives your life, and when you treat it like a high-performance machine, it responds with clarity, strength, vitality, and a level of energy that allows you to show up fully in every moment. Step 4. Eliminate the silent energy killers. There are forces draining your energy every single day, not with dramatic impact, but with small, consistent leaks that you barely notice. These silent energy killers operate quietly in the background, shaping your mood, your productivity, your motivation, and even your self-worth. Most people assume their exhaustion comes from major responsibilities or big life challenges, but the truth is, it's often the subtle, persistent habits that wear you down the most. These habits hide inside your routine disguised as normal behavior, but over time they accumulate into mental fog, emotional heaviness, and physical fatigue. When you begin identifying these silent energy killers and eliminating them, you free up massive amounts of strength, focus, and vitality that have been trapped under layers of unnecessary stress and distraction. One of the biggest silent energy killers is information overload. From the moment you wake up, your mind is bombarded with notifications, messages, news, opinions, and digital noise. Even if you're not consciously responding, your brain is processing it all, which drains cognitive energy long before your day has even begun. Constant scrolling creates a state of comparison, anxiety, and distraction that leaves your mind fragmented and unfocused. When you limit the digital noise, especially in the first hour of your day, you create space for clarity and energy to rise. Protecting your attention is one of the most powerful ways to reclaim your energy because your focus determines your emotional and physical state more than you realize. Another silent energy killer is the emotional environment you live in. Negative people, toxic conversations, unresolved conflicts, and environments filled with tension act like emotional anchors that weigh you down. You might think you're handling it, but your nervous system is constantly reacting to stress you haven't addressed. Every emotional burden you carry consumes mental and physical resources. Setting boundaries, limiting exposure to draining individuals, and surrounding yourself with supportive, uplifting energy is not selfish. It's essential. Your environment is shaping you whether you see it or not, and when you choose environments that nourish your peace, your energy naturally strengthens. Clutter is also a hidden energy thief. A disorganized space creates a disorganized mind because your brain is constantly scanning and reacting to visual chaos. Clutter may seem harmless, but it increases stress, decreases focus, and creates a sense of heaviness that follows you throughout the day. When you clear your environment, you clear mental space. Even small acts of organization can create an immediate boost in clarity and motivation. Your external world reflects your internal state, and transforming one helps transform the other. Poor sleep habits are another silent energy killer that people ignore. Staying up too late, Scrolling in bed, eating heavy meals before sleep, or waking up inconsistently disrupts your body's natural rhythm. This leads to a cycle of shallow rest and constant daytime fatigue. Sleep is not just rest, it is recovery, repair, and renewal. When you prioritize your nighttime routines, you restore your body's ability to generate energy consistently. Finally, multitasking silently drains energy by forcing your brain to constantly switch between tasks, which decreases efficiency and increases mental fatigue. Focusing on one thing at a time conserves energy and improves performance. When you eliminate these silent energy killers, digital overload, negativity, clutter, poor sleep patterns, and multitasking, you create space for your true energy to rise naturally, giving you the strength, clarity, and presence you deserve. Step 5. Fuel your body like it matters. Your body is the most powerful engine you will ever operate. Yet most people treat it as if it runs on autopilot, expecting it to function at peak levels without giving it the fuel, care, and attention it deserves. Energy is not simply created from sleep or motivation. It is built from what you put into your body every single day. Every bite you take, every sip you drink, every piece of information you consume, and every emotional environment you expose yourself to contributes to either the strength or the weakness of your energy. People often underestimate how deeply their physical fuel is connected to their mental clarity, emotional stability, and daily performance. When you fuel your body with intention, you give yourself the foundation to think better, move better, and live better. Most people eat for convenience, not for energy. They grab what is easy, fast, or comforting without realizing that these choices often create slow, steady exhaustion. Sugary foods, processed snacks, and heavy meals deliver quick bursts of energy followed by sharp crashes, leaving the body struggling to keep up. These cycles become habitual, creating a pattern of fatigue that feels normal simply because it is familiar. But the moment you begin to fuel your body with clean, nutrient-rich foods, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, whole grains, fruits, and plenty of water, everything changes. Your energy becomes more stable, your mood becomes more balanced, and your body begins to function the way it was designed to. Proper fuel allows your cells to regenerate, your brain to stay sharp, and your metabolism to stay strong. Hydration is another critical component of energy that people overlook. Even slight dehydration can make you feel tired, unfocused, irritable, and mentally slow. Water is essential for delivering nutrients, maintaining muscle function, lubricating joints, and supporting brain activity. Without enough water, your body simply cannot produce energy efficiently. Many people reach for caffeine or sugar when they feel tired, but what their body actually needs is hydration. By drinking enough water consistently throughout the day, you ensure that your body has the environment it needs to operate at its highest level. Hydration is not just a habit, it is a fuel source that determines how well your entire system performs. What you consume mentally and emotionally is just as important as what you consume physically. Your body responds chemically to the information you absorb, whether it's inspiring, empowering, negative, chaotic, or stressful. Constant exposure to negativity, drama, or unhealthy environments creates emotional fatigue that drains your energy just as much as poor nutrition does. When you surround yourself with uplifting content, supportive people, and environments that encourage growth, your emotional state strengthens. When your emotional state strengthens, your physical energy rises as a result. The food you eat fuels your body, but the content you consume fuels your mind, and both are essential to creating high energy. Every day you are either building energy or subtracting from it based on the fuel you choose. When you decide to feed your body with real, clean, life-giving foods, hydrate consistently, and nourish your mind with empowering information, you create a cycle of energy that supports you rather than drains you. You begin to feel lighter, clearer, more capable, and more resilient. You begin to realize that energy is not just something you hope for. It is something you build intentionally through the choices you make, and your body responds directly to the quality of fuel you give it. Step 6. Reclaim your purpose to reclaim your power. There is a kind of exhaustion that sleep cannot fix, a heaviness that doesn't come from the body but from the absence of direction. When you feel disconnected from your purpose, your energy naturally declines because the human spirit was never designed to live without meaning. Purpose is the emotional fuel that activates your drive, your passion, your focus, and your inner strength. Without it, even simple tasks feel overwhelming, and even small challenges feel like mountains. But when you have a purpose, even a small one, your entire internal system awakens. You begin to feel lighter, more alive, more determined. Purpose gives you a reason to get up, to try again, to grow, and to push through moments that once drained you. Reclaiming your purpose is not about finding something outside of you. It is about reconnecting with what has always been inside you. Many people lose their sense of purpose not because they never had one, but because life's pressures slowly bury it. Responsibilities pile up. Expectations from others become louder than your own inner voice. You start chasing approval instead of passion, security instead of growth, and convenience instead of fulfillment. Over time, you drift away from the things that once made you feel alive. This creates a silent internal conflict, a tension between who you are and who you've become, between what you want and what you tolerate. This conflict drains energy more than any physical task ever could because it keeps your spirit in a constant state of resistance. Reclaiming your purpose requires courage, honesty, and the willingness to reconnect with what truly matters to you, not what the world expects from you. Purpose doesn't always arrive as a grand vision. Sometimes it starts as a whisper. It may show up as curiosity, passion, a desire to help others, a dream you once had, or a feeling that you were meant for more. When you begin paying attention to these signals, the path becomes clearer. Purpose is built through action, through exploration, through following what energizes you rather than what drains you. When you allow yourself to move toward the things that light you up, your energy naturally expands. Your mind becomes more focused. Your emotions become more stable. Your motivation strengthens because you're no longer just surviving. You're creating, growing, and contributing in a way that feels meaningful to you. Reclaiming your purpose also means releasing the belief that you must have everything figured out. Purpose isn't a final destination, it's a direction. It's an inner compass that guides your decisions, your habits, and your efforts. When you reconnect with your purpose, you reclaim your personal power. The power to choose, to change, to rise, and to grow. Purpose gives you resilience during hard times because you're not operating blindly. You're anchored. You have something to fight for, something to move toward, something that reminds you that your life has depth and meaning. With purpose, fatigue loses its power because you're not just waking up to get through the day, you're waking up to move towards something that matters. And when something matters deeply, your energy expands to meet it. You don't have to live tired. You don't have to settle for a life where exhaustion feels normal or where your energy is something that just happens to you. Today, you've seen that energy is a system you can shape, control, and elevate. When you choose powerful thoughts, when you break the cycle of mental exhaustion, when you upgrade your physiology, when you fuel your body with intention, and when you reconnect with your purpose, you unlock a level of strength and clarity that has been inside you all along. Your energy is your life force. Protect it, build it, honor it, and step into every day knowing that you have the power to create the energy you need to become the person you are meant to be.